We have this from NBC News. Ladies and gentlemen, this is major breaking news. This is historic. Julian Assange has reached a plea deal with the U.S., allowing him to go free. The WikiLeaks founder has been held in a prison outside of London for the last 5 years and fought extradition to the United States. He's expected to return to Australia. I don't want to waste time. I believe the Biden administration has reached a deal with him, terrified that if Donald Trump becomes president and Julian Assange is still stuck at the behest of the U.S., Trump will get leverage through WikiLeaks information against U.S. intelligence and the Biden administration and other Democrats. That is to say, there's a long story here. But Julian Assange has access to information which is very damaging to the establishment political class in this country, which is Democrats and Republicans. And Donald Trump has been trying to get it. And he tried to get it in his first term and he couldn't. I believe the Biden DOJ cut a deal with Assange so that Trump would not be able to in the event Democrats actually end up losing in November. Let's read. NBC says, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange plans to plead guilty to a conspiracy charge this week as part of a plea deal with the U.S. DOJ that will allow him to go free. Assange was charged by criminal information, which typically signifies a plea deal, with conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information, the documents say. A letter from DOJ official Matthew McKenzie to U.S. Judge Ramona Manglona of the U.S. District Court for the Northern Mariana Islands said that Assange would appear in court at 9 a.m. local time on Wednesday to plead guilty, and said that the DOJ expects Assange will return to Australia, his country of citizenship, after the proceedings. U.S. charges against Assange stem from one of the largest publications of classified information in American history, which took place during the term of Barack Obama, starting in late 2009, according to the government. Assange conspired with Chelsea Manning, a military intelligence analyst, to disclose tens of thousands of activity reports about the war in Afghanistan, hundreds of thousands of reports about the war in Iraq, hundreds of thousands of State Department cables, and assessment briefs of Guantanamo Bay detainees using his WikiLeaks website. Now, I don't believe the U.S. government, but let me go to the beginning of this. So for those that aren't familiar with what's going on, I can bring this into modern politics so you understand. Julian Assange is at the Ecuadorian embassy in London. He was being threatened with arrest over some ridiculous bunk claim about assaulting some women, which never happened. And I don't even know if it was assault. It was like, I don't want to get too crass, but a condom broke. The women went to the police and said, can we get him tested? They said, aha, we're going to go get him now. They wanted to extradite him to Sweden. So he was in London, I believe he was on house arrest. He went to the Ecuadorian embassy seeking asylum, and they granted to him. He was trapped in the Ecuadorian embassy for, I think it was, 7 years? Might have been longer.
I think it was 7. I know he had
7.
2 kids during that time.
Right. So what happens is, under the Trump administration, Assange was pulled from the embassy and taken to prison. Here's the conspiracy theory. And it is. I mean, I think there's reason to believe this may be the case. There are sources. I've investigated a bit of the story. I don't have a lot of crazy information or anything, but I've talked with certain people. It would seem Julian Assange made a statement in an interview about Seth Rich. There were emails that were leaked to WikiLeaks from the DNC and the DCCC, their Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. And these emails were pretty damning. Everybody on the right believed Seth Rich, who worked for the DNC, had leaked these emails by downloading them, handing them off to an associate of WikiLeaks, who then gave them to WikiLeaks. There's an individual who has claimed he received these emails via USB. The media reported the emails were hacked by the Russians. Well, Donald Trump wanted to know what happened. And there's only one person who can tell you, and it's going to be Julian Assange. So the theory goes, and this is rumor and scuttlebutt, that Trump held a meeting, dispatched some of his confidants to meet with Julian Assange, and made him a deal. Come to the U.S., provide the evidence and testimony against the Democrats, and you're a free man. Julian Assange said no, because he will not compromise his values and the WikiLeaks organization and sacrifice the source of the information, who will certainly die, or, assuming they didn't already, it'll cause serious harm to the individual's family. When Julian Assange refused this, rumor is, again, just rumor, that Trump team said, then we're going to bring him to the U.S. by force. And that's what they were trying to do. I don't know if any of that is true. I have spoken with some people about the issue, and it seems like it's possible based on the things I've heard. Now, when I hear this, assuming that is the case, and I will stress again, maybe it's all garbage, Joe Biden is concerned, the DOJ, it's not even really Biden, it's the deep state, that if Trump wins in November, he will be able to extradite Julian Assange to the U.S., who is currently facing charges, and he will get Julian Assange to give him the information he wants, which will implicate establishment party members. This is Republicans as well. This is CIA, this is FBI. And now Julian Assange will go free and Trump will be unable to do so. Did something happen, Phil? You just gasped.
I just saw a thing that Amuse was posting about Dana Bash's ex-husband, Jeremy Bash, was one of the 51 intelligence officials who claimed the...
Oh, wow.
Biden. So that's someone that works at CNN.
Yep.
Connected to the 51 to the 51 people that lied about the election. It is entirely incestuous. There is no light between CNN and the current administration, and there was no light between CNN and the Obama administration either. That was when it became an issue of access as opposed to an issue of money. You're not going to be able to pay people enough money to say the money's more important than being able to get an interview with the president or the president's chief of staff. That is just the truth. Access is far more valuable than money. And until people start to realize that, they're going to keep chasing BS stuff like, oh, lobbyists are spending too much money. It's like, yeah, lobbyists and stuff like that are bad, fine. But the real problem are the people that are looking for access to the president and to the administration so they can influence policy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that this is access is really key to a lot of stuff, and I'm going to sort of awkwardly segue back to Julian Assange for a second, which is to say that, you know, if Julian Assange is released, he's returned to Australia, I want to see a statement from Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, who's been incredibly supportive of Julian Assange for the last couple months. I don't know his entire history, but saying, you know, enough is enough. He needs to be released. This has gone on for too long. And also, you know, the U.S. tends to have a really positive diplomatic relationship with Australia. We definitely did under Trump. And, you know, under the Biden administration, as there's been Indo-Pacific tension, it seems to remain strong. So for me, all of this remains sort of uncertain until we know what the counterpart of this deal is saying, until we know how Australia is reacting to this and what they are saying. I wonder what the long-term implications are.
We got a great super chat from Jason Lindholm. He said the plea deal is a setup. The government won't let him expose anything on them. He's going unless or he'll be unalived. I think that actually makes a lot of sense. The Biden DOJ basically says you leave and you never come back or else. But they need to cut ties from U.S. authority with Assange so that if Trump gets elected, he has no legal means to actually get Assange. And I would assume that Jason's correct in there's an implication with what the deal they're offering him.
Yeah.
You are lucky. You are here. Go home.
It also, to me, would signal that the Biden administration does not think re-election is viable.
Elon responded.
I know.
Okay. Sorry.
Phil, I'm more important than Elon Musk. I'm the president. I'm right here, right now. He's busy. He's having tons of children. No, the thing is, I really think that it's sort of a signal that the Biden administration does not think that they will be there in 2025. And that's why they have to deal with this issue right now in the final month. Well, what could be the final months and probably will be the final months of his presidency, because they can't leave a loose end like Julian Assange around if there's any way that Trump would benefit from it. But again, I feel like I can't say anything definitively until we know how the third party in this is reacting, which is actually Australia. Was Australia going to do? Because there's a chance that Australia is like, Donald Trump, Julian Assange is not allowed to go to America to talk to you. Please come visit us and have a conversation with him. I mean, we don't know until his government says how they're going to protect him or anything else.
I think one of the big issues too is Julian Assange has had bad health for a long time, and you can't be locked up in a building for that long, like the Ecuadorian embassy. I think he had like a tooth issue at some point. And having just experienced that last week, I just got to tell you, like, everything's fine. And then I woke up at 2 a.m. with pain at like 8, and I had to go to the ER.
And the implications of your gums, like if your gums are infected or whatever, it can have really serious long-term consequences for your health.
Yeah, Julian was deteriorating. I'm so excited for this. Julian is a journalist. I don't believe the U.S. government's claims against him. It makes no sense that someone who is working so hard with so many lawyers and the resources behind him would do something as stupid. We've all known the rules on working with sources. Every journalist does. And Julian Assange not only is not an exception, he's the height of understanding how to deal with this legally because of what he does. The idea that he directly contacted at the time Bradley Manning, now Chelsea Manning, and was like, hey, let's commit a crime together. I just do not believe it for a second.
Phil, are you going to name your new album Julian Assange is Free?
Stop. No, it's
So
already got it.
we do have an update, though. Elon Musk has responded to my tweet. Shout out to Elon Musk. He
Thanks
responded.
for watching the show, Elon.
I am kind of, I feel like I flubbed this initial tweet when I said we plan to simulcast. That's not correct. We plan to provide commentary live is a better way to put it. But I did put that in the original tweet, so it's not so bad. But Elon Musk says the public has a right to see presidential debates however they would like. DMCA does not apply. However, Ian Mouse Chong did say it'll get DMCA'd regardless, and X has no good means to undo those immediately. So I hope Elon sees that from Ian, and that is a good point to be made. They may have to make sure this is the case. Now, what I will say is, and this is tough because I don't know how much I should be talking about this considering these things are actively happening right now, but I believe there's a possibility that YouTube may take the same stance as Elon Musk, and these social media platforms may actually tell CNN, shove off. Mm-hmm. Now, as for Rumble, a lot of people are asking, like, why don't I ask Rumble? I got to be honest. Shout out to Chris Pavlovsky. I think I already know his answer. I'm like 99% sure. He's going to be like, dude, fair use, no question. I'm not so sure about how X would handle it because X notoriously has the DMCA issue. Rumble, not so much. So I'm fairly confident that Chris Pavlovsky, CEO of Rumble, of all people, I believe he is the most forward-thinking when it comes to these things. So I'll just give Rumble a shout-out. We're going to be seeing how we do the simulcast. We have so here's the thing people need to get. It's not very, very simple, but it's also not particularly complicated. It just makes it annoying to launch, especially multiple streams at once. So when we're doing the Culture War podcast Friday mornings, that's simulcast on Tenet Media YouTube as well as X, and you need special accounts and special programs to do it. To do a three-way simulcast is a bit more difficult. Now, some people ask, Tim, why would you go on X and not Rumble if that's the case? Well, we're going to try all three. But if we have to choose only one, I have 2 million followers on X. I mean, we've got 500,000 on Rumble, and no disrespect to Rumble. But X is also a different kind of platform, which allows for more virality, and I just have more followers there. But ideally, we will get the debate show simulcasted everywhere. And that's our plan for now.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe, and we'll see you all there.